Okay. Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good evening. Today we are going to discuss about our second task, which is the theme is about climate change, and our focus are on depletion of ozone layer causing the insufficiency of world food supply. Is it true? So before we go deep into our discussion, firstly, my name is Nur Fakira.
My name is Muhammad Nurali Kamal bin Yasin.
My name is Engku Ahmad Imran.
My name is Aruni Odom.
My name is Nawa Nabila.
Okay, so before we start, we would like to talk about what is depletion of ozone layer.
I will explain about the effect of causing the ozone layer increasing, decrease due with the several factors. First, it caused by the carbon dioxide and chlorofluorocarbons. In fact, the higher release of gas that come from the carbon dioxide. Mostly it's come from the combustion of fossil fuel in car, factory and electricity production. The gas responsible for the most warming is carbon dioxide, also called as CO2. Other gas like methane that released from landfill and agriculture, especially for digestive system of breeding agriculture, nitrous oxide from fertilizer, gas used for refrigerator and industrial. Yes.
So may I interrupt? So what does the effect of ozone depletion to the world?
From the depletion of ozone layer, it can cause the global warming. From the global warming, it can cause drought, wildfire, and also can cause earthquake, and flood.
What the effects of depletion of ozone layer towards the food supply?
So let me support Ali. The increase in I think the effect of the ozone layer depletion is the first effect is from the penetration of UV rays that can reach the Earth's surface. So the increase in UV rays could also drastically affect the plants. Those UV rays that has effect on the plant will inhibit the growth processes of the plants, and also will give effect to the plant or crops that humans rely on. Because the plant are the base of the most food chains. And when the negative effect of the plants would likely affect those organisms that relying on the plants. So for me, I think ozone depletion may lead to loss of plant species and reduce the global food supply, because since all life are interconnected with each other.
It also for me, I added some point with her. Depletion of the ozone layer can cause the lack of resources of water because of global warming. It can make it plant adequate of water that can cause the plant is wilt
And then
and die.
So it will reduce the food supply.
Yes.
okay.
There's any point?
I would like to talk about future food supply. Ozone layer because from air pollution. Air pollution will cause the decreasing of oxygen level and the increasing of carbon dioxide level inside our earth. There are studies that show air pollution cause the lower crop yields. And study also reveal that when pollution and climate change are factored together, 4 of the largest crops in the world will be severely affected by 2050, which means the global food supply will be threatened. On a global level, half of the calories consumed each day come from corn, wheat, and soy. Unfortunately, all of them are threatened by the challenges of warming, climate change, and ozone air pollution. It is caused from soil nutrient and air surrounding of the plant is not sufficient enough for the plant growth. And the result is less raw material for food supply will be produced. And in my opinion, technology can afford to back up the food production in the future.
Yeah, and I would like to agree with Engku's point that technology can support the food production, and for the topic today, I don't think that depletion of ozone layer will cause insufficiency of world food supply, because research have been done and the world now have enough food supply to cover for 7 to 9 billion more people in this world. It means that we still can cover for another 20 to 30 years of food in the future. And other than that, the food also might be enough for another 10 billion more people in 2050. Why? Obviously because of the development of the technology itself. Why I say that? Just now we said about how the air pollution is worsening and how UV ray affect the inhibition of plant growth. However, the technologies nowadays, the biggest example that I could give is the greenhouse itself. Now we have greenhouse where we can produce crops even outside from its own season. And we also have other technology that can provide the nutrition. Just now Uncle said not enough nutrition, but we can produce the nutrition itself. The chemical is enough to give nutrition to the food. And other than that, if about animal, even now we have the biggest or the largest farm fish in this world. In Mississippi, for example, they have a very large catfish farm, not in the sea, but it's in a pond. So it still can afford food in the future. So I don't think that even though depletion of ozone layer can cause the insufficiency of the food.
But don't you think we are really enough food in future if we have no water to proceed the technology?
Well, actually, we still can cover that. Okay, if there's not enough water, there are other technology that we can use to support. To cover the insufficiency of water. And other than that, the world have a lot of food waste actually, and Malaysia is the top 10 in the world with the highest number of food waste. So it's not a problem with world food supply actually.
Okay, I agree with your opinion about the technology provide enough food supply to the world in the future, right? But as we know that day by day people are increasing. So do you think that the technology is
enough.
Enough for the future as the people are increase.
I mean, as long as people is aware about food supply, it will be enough. Of course, because now people are not very aware about food. Actually, that's why food waste is too much. Right? Don't you think so? However, I think if we will talk about the natural resources, like just now I already said about how water is not enough. So if in the future there's no more water, such as drought, so that's might be a limitation to technology because there is no way that we can produce water by our own self, right?
There is a good about the technology, but technology does not cover the such as natural resource, such as water or the food supply. So I think technology is not
Still unable actually to cover it. If we will talk about another 60 years or 70 years in the future, technology will not be able to cover it if there is no more natural resources. So I think we still need to protect our world from depletion of ozone layer. Don't you guys think so?
Yeah. So our conclusion.
So somehow I think we need a solution for this case according to our topic discussion today. So what do you guys think the suggest solution for this case? Anyone?
I think we need to reduce our household chemicals. Household chemical from release the carbon that might
harm to the
ozone layer, such as we reduce the use of pesticide, aerosol, and others. Air conditioner.
I also agree with that as a solution to avoid the depletion of ozone layer. Like just now, Alif said it's caused by the fuel from the car. So maybe we could
reduce the car use.
Yes, maybe carpool.
And using public transport.
Support the public transport.
And
Cycling
maybe
to the class.
cycling to the class. And also maybe we could use. Just now we have cars using battery, using gas.
Electric.
So that is one of another point. And other than that, I think we should teach the world and the people more so that they are more aware about this depletion of ozone layer. It's not only affect the food actually, it's also affect our health from UV ray. And other than that, other than solution, maybe Alif could give something.
For me, other people does not do a open burning. Because that can cause the ozone layer temperature in the world become high, and it can cause the drought that can make the agriculture sector cannot produce food and food quality
will be decreased.
Will be decreased.
Food quality itself. Other than that, maybe
we can reduce the use of cleaning agent. The cleaning agent that we often use to clean our house.
Reduce of using.
Then, because the harmful compound that found in the chemical, that is the harmful compound that will turn the compound to destroy the ozone layer. That's why the ozone depletion happens. So I think that's all from us.
So as a conclusion, we all agree that depletion of ozone layer will cause the insufficiency of food supply in the future. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you.